Okay, welcome back. We've just finished the logical operators on page 187, and we're ready to move on. Whew. Okay, the next section talks about kind of troubleshooting on page 190. There's a quick reference there on page 190. It's actually pretty good. They talk about the things that can happen. You've already seen like the name thing. Name thing means you typed a function which I don't know what it is. If I go in here and I type in, kumquat, 12, it's going to come back and say, what? Okay, cool. If I refer to something else, a reference that doesn't exist, for example, I had an absolute reference to something and then I deleted that column. It doesn't exist anymore, that kind of stuff. So go through that little list. The ref, the NA, the value, divide by 0, those are kind of normal. But the really cool thing is on page 191. It talks about some real-world advice when entering stuff in a formula. Now, the machine is extraordinarily forgiving, for example, in date format, right? I can type in practically anything. I can type in 22 August, 42. And it'll go, okay, I kind of sort of know what you're talking about there, right? Now, if you try that inside a formula, so let's do a year. And I type in 22 August 42. It's going to come back and say, oh, yeah. So what do you have to do to fix this? How about this? This is kind of interesting. Let's do 8/22/2014. Okay. Now you'd think that would work. You go, hey, let's hit the little formula guy. See what's going on. Well, look what it did. It took that and divided it. What that did is it took 8 divided by 22 divided by 2014, which is this. Okay, that is not what we wanted. So when entering a date format, you have to use this goofy thing called date value. I know. Hey, I don't make this stuff up. Date value basically means how to convert a date from like text. All right, now that is going to come back and say, it's going to say, what the heck are you talking about? Let me just type it by, oh, it worked. I'm sorry. I guess I got a decimal point, parentheses in there wrong someplace. So date value is the practical way. Oh, I got extra parentheses. That's why it was complaining. Okay, so date value is a way of putting in literals. Okay. Now I already talked to you about some of the others. First of all, there's no commas. Like it's very, very easy if you go in here and say like 12,000. Okay, and the machine loves that, but not inside a formula, because commas are things that are designed to separate arguments. So when typing inside a formula, a lot of the rules are different. So no commas, no dollar signs that are in formulas, no percent signs. So you have to mentally change between 12% and 0.12. You have to do that kind of stuff. If you're putting text, you have to put the text inside double quotes, except named ranges. Okay, so a named range does not have quotes. In fact, that's the only way you can tell the difference between a named range and text inside a formula, is which one has quotes and which one doesn't. No spaces. It would probably make sense to never have, like this guy that was kind of complex. Remember this guy? One of them. Oh, come on. Here we go. There's no real spaces in here. I mean, yeah, you can kind of go in here and make this thing look a little prettier, right? By putting spaces in, but as soon as I hit that, there's no real need for that. A lot of people don't like that. So don't bother. And of course, date literals are just in a class by themselves. Okay, finally, we have reached the end of this chapter. We'll see you guys again in some future chapter.